Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and in today's video, think of this as the crystal ball into the brain of a woman and red flags you should be looking for in your relationship. So these are 10 red flags that you're gonna wanna pay attention to when you're dating a girl. So everyone has their own personal relationship red flags, everyone has their own deal breakers, but these are gonna be 10 pretty intense red flags that you should be paying attention to. I want to help you guys. I am on your side. As a woman, I feel like I have a pretty good idea of when women do this. I have a ton of friends that do some of these things. I had people in my sorority that did these things. I've been around a lot of women my entire life, so trust me, I've heard it all. And the reason why I think it's so important for all of you guys out there in relationships, even not in relationships and just looking for a girlfriend in general, to be listening to a list like this is because a lot of times when we're in relationships, we put our blinders up. We want things to work out. We don't want our relationship to fail. We don't want to be sad. I've been there, I've done it, and I have ignored about 1.5 million red flags that have been waving in front of my face because of just simply not wanting something to fail, not wanting something to not work out. So trust me, it's important to pay attention to these things because most of these are patterns and behaviors that become even more intense later down the road, and you'll be questioning yourself and wondering why the heck you stayed in this relationship. So let's jump into the video. Number 1 red flag is she's possessive and needy. And by this, I mean, for example, you tell her that you're going to hang out with your friends for the weekend and she gets mad at you because you're hanging out with someone besides her. It's okay to want to be with someone and hang out with someone a lot, but when she cannot physically function without being with you, or she gets mad when you're with someone else, it could be anyone else, not even a girl, just anyone else besides her, this is a sign of possessiveness and control. This does not get better as the relationship progresses. In fact, it probably just will get worse. Number 2, how do they treat people? When you go out to dinner, how do they treat the waitress? When you go grab a coffee, how do they treat the barista? How does she treat her family? All of these are big red flags. If she's treating them poorly, if she's being rude, if she's acting like she's better than them, she could be the most beautiful or hot or whatever girl in the world, and if she has an ugly personality, ditch her. And keep in mind, how she is treating these people is probably how she's going to treat you later on down the road when you do something that dissatisfies her or isn't up to par with her standards. So keep that in mind too. Number 3, we have excessive jealousy. So a little bit of jealousy is healthy. I think it's totally normal for someone to be a little bit jealous every now and then, but when it's excessive, it becomes a problem. For example, say something funny happened at work and you tell your girlfriend about it, and the story just so happens to involve a girl. The second you bring up the girl, she instantly is not interested in the story. She gets mad at you. She accuses you of X, X, and X, whatever it is. If she's getting mad for no reason and you haven't given her a reason to be mad over a girl, this is an issue. This signifies that she's insecure. She's gonna be constantly paranoid. It's going to be very unhealthy for the both of you, so you're better off just getting out of it. Like I said, a little bit of jealousy is totally okay. I have been jealous before. I think jealousy is something that everyone has felt at some point in their life, but there's a very big difference between a little bit of jealousy to keep the relationship interesting and excessive jealousy. Number 4, she doesn't say thank you. So think about if you've taken her out on a few dates, you've paid for all of her stuff, and she did not even say thank you. If she's not appreciative of these little things that you're doing for her, she's never really going to be appreciative of the big things either. And this can create a lot of resentment in a relationship, especially if you feel like you're the one that's always giving, always paying, and she's giving you nothing in return. It's one thing if she forgets to say it once or twice, but if you're noticing a pattern where she has kind of a princess mentality and just expects it and never says thank you, run for the hills. Number 5, we have no goals or hobbies. So for example, say you ask her where she pictures herself 5 years from now, and she can't even formulate a thought. She can't even tell you where she begins to see herself in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years at all. If she is unable to talk about her future, you ask her what her hobbies are, and she says she doesn't have any. Shopping, by the way, is not a hobby. I like shopping, but it's not a hobby. This is an issue because you want to be with someone that has ambition. You want to be with someone that has goals and aspirations and things that they want to accomplish in life, especially if you're someone that has all of these things. It's impossible to be with someone that doesn't share these same interests as you. So keep that in mind as well. How are you supposed to be a power couple and build each other up if she can't even build herself up or has any kind of goal for herself? Number 6, we have unrealistic communication expectations. And I'm not talking about you've ghosted her for a week and she's upset with you. that is totally acceptable, and she has every reason to be upset with you if that is the case. I'm talking about, example, you're at work and you haven't texted her back all day because you're at work and she's freaking out, blowing up at you, getting mad at you for not texting her back. This is a huge red flag because she is expecting you to drop everything in your life for her, to make you her entire world. And this is just an unrealistic expectation at any point in a relationship. But if you're seeing this in the beginning, this is going to be a huge problem that continues throughout your entire relationship. So please keep this in mind. Or you're out with your friends and she's expecting you to text her every 5 seconds. You are allowed to have a life outside of your partner. I would argue that this is one of the most important things when you're in a relationship. It's okay to enjoy doing things together. It's okay to want to be with a person and spend time with a person, but it's so incredibly important to have a life and interests and goals and hobbies and spend time apart and not spend every waking moment together doing every single thing together. Being your own person and bringing your individuality into a relationship is what makes a relationship work. Number 7, she brings up past relationships too much. So it's okay in the beginning of your relationship to ask each other about past relationships and maybe why something didn't work out. I think it's totally okay to be a little bit curious about this and to wonder this about the person that you're getting to know and you're with. However, if she's constantly bringing up her ex unsolicited with no context, this is an issue. She's probably not over him. If she keeps talking about him all the time, that's kind of weird. And if she's constantly bringing up your ex and asking you questions and getting mad at you about things that you maybe did with her or people that you've slept with, this is a huge issue. It's a control thing, and it's a lack of control over what you've done in the past or who you've been with. And it's gonna be something that carries on for your whole relationship. You guys are gonna be 90 years old in a nursing home and she's still gonna be bringing up your ex. So if you don't want that to be you, don't even put up with this kind of girl. Number 8, she just got out of a relationship. So this doesn't sound like it would be that bad. I know sometimes things happen. You run into her at the train station and it's magical, like a movie. Sometimes things like that, they just work out and it makes sense. But if she just got out of a relationship and you meet her on Tinder or at a bar and she's already seeking out another relationship, this signifies that she can't be alone. She's insecure with herself. She's not independent. She feels like she needs someone with her to be happy. This is a problem because, like I mentioned earlier, it's so important to be your own person and to bring your individuality into a relationship in order for it to work. And the biggest red flag here is that you're a rebound. Nobody wants to be a rebound. It just is what it is. You don't want to be that guy, and you're going to be questioning it your whole entire relationship. Number 9, she has no girlfriends. This doesn't also sound like it would be that bad, but this signifies that she doesn't have any committed relationships. She doesn't have any constant relationships in her life. And I think this is really important just to show that you can keep relationships for a long time. You aren't just going through friends like hotcakes. So when a girl says she doesn't have any girlfriends, this just shows that she can't maintain relationships, and you have to wonder why the friendships didn't work out. It's kind of like the girl that has dated a million guys and constantly talks bad about all of them and says, you know, they were just jerks, it didn't work out. But why? Because you were the common denominator in all of it. Also, it's really important to have friends outside of your relationship as well. So if you're with a girl and she wants to spend all her time with you, she doesn't have any friends, no girlfriends, no guy friends, just no friends in general, this is an issue because it's so incredibly important to have other relationships outside of your romantic relationship that you're in. And lastly, number 10, she has cheated. This, I think, is the most obvious one. Once a cheater, always a cheater. I am a firm believer in this from people that I have dated in my past. Once they cheat once, they just keep cheating because they know they can get away with it. But the biggest one here that I think a lot of people ignore is, did she cheat with you? Was she dating a guy? Did she cheat on him with you and now is in a relationship with you? Well, you might think, well, you know, it just didn't work out for them. It's great with us. What happens when she gets bored? What happens when she no longer wants to be with you or she meets someone that she thinks is better than you? She's gonna do the same exact thing to you that she did to the last guy with you. If anything, the fact that she's cheated before just shows a lack of commitment, a lack of respect, and a lack of loyalty, which, why would you want to date a girl like that? Guys, just being 100% honest, like I said, I'm on your side. I believe in you. If she cheats, she belongs in the streets. Kick her out, get rid of her. You're better than that. All right, guys, that concludes my list of 10 red flags to look for in women. I hope you all enjoyed and found this helpful. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for when I release new content. Also, let me know in the comments below what your personal experiences have been with red flags. If you've experienced anything on my list, or if you think I missed anything, I would love to read about them in the comments below. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys on there as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.